during the commercial break. I had it all lined up and ready to go. I had happy birthday ready to go, ready to play for our next guest, and we failed the assignment. So apologies, Kennedi, as we bring on from the women's basketball team, the sophomore guard. She is Kennedi Perkins. We don't have the song, Kennedi, so accept my apologies, but happy birthday. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's okay. You can sing it if you want.
All right. Well, you don't want that. That would be I promise you, Kennedi. My gift to you is not singing you happy birthday today. It will make your birthday much, much better not having to hear me sing. That is my personal guarantee to you. But any big plans here on the B-Day? What do you got planned here for later today? Are you all locked in on the hoops?
Nothing too serious. Just dinner with friends and getting ready for the game tomorrow.
All right, there we go. That's not bad. With Duke coming up tomorrow, and man, what a season you guys are having here. What has this ride been like for you guys this season, and when did it click in amongst you guys that you had something special going on?
It's been so surreal. Like, you don't go into the season thinking you're going to be number 17th in the country. You just go in and wanting to win. So once we started realizing, I would say we started realizing in the preseason that we have something good going, and we just didn't stop believing in ourselves, and we've been doing what we need to do.
And here you are, winning a bunch of games. You're on a 5-game winning streak. You've got huge wins in your back pocket over Notre Dame and Louisville, and another opportunity for a big win like that against Duke tomorrow. And I think we've seen here of late, like, you guys have a knack for the close and late situations, right? Like, you've been in some games here in the fourth quarter that things have not been decided until the last few minutes, or those games a few weeks ago, you had some crazy comebacks in the fourth quarter. What late in games this year, Kennedi, has clicked for this year's team?
I would say this year we just have this will to not give up. We want to keep fighting and fighting until we get that victory. That's been our motto all year, and that's why we've been cardiac cues for the entire season.
Yeah, hey, it keeps it exciting. We like exciting, Kennedi, so that's good. As Kennedi Perkins is with us from the women's basketball team, and man, you've had a significant role, haven't you, in some of these close and late games? Like, you're not playing, with Deasia Fair out there. There's not a lot of guard minutes available right now, so you're not playing a ton of minutes, but I feel like every time it's like a 2-point game with 3 minutes left, we look up and there you are on the court. What makes you personally comfortable in moments like that?
I feel like I've always been the type of player that closes for my team. I get excited when I'm called with 2 minutes left and we're down. I feel like I'm in my element when we're down and we need somebody to win and help the team get the victory.
Take me through the mentality of something like that, because I feel a lot of times, too, like, you get subbed in that moment. It's not like, oh, I've been on the court for a few minutes, and now it's time to make a big play. It's like, no, Coach Jack says, Kennedi, get in the game. We need something right now. What's it like to go from, like, literally the bench into the game to having to make winning plays down the stretch?
You just got to stay locked on ready. That's what Coach tells me, to stay ready. I never know when my number is going to be called. But when I do get called, I know what I need to do. I've been watching the game the entire time, so I know what I shouldn't do and what needs to be done to win. So I just take that knowledge and I just carry it out on the court.
It feels to me, too, Kennedi, like that ability is rare in a young player like yourself as a sophomore. Like, I'd feel something like that. You say, oh, someone that's been around for a while, a senior that's seen a lot of ball. What is it about the way you process watching the game that allows you to figure those things out?
I would say watching like a lot of professionals and also other college teams that come back from deficits. I feel like watching them and seeing what they do, and like watching specific players and seeing how they help their team, that really helps me, and I just carry that onto the court.
Kennedi Perkins is with us from the women's basketball team, and your head coach, Coach Jack, talks a lot about the idea of team, right? About how the group is greater than the individual. I know she has a lot of sayings for all of that stuff. How have you noticed, specifically, I mean, the basketball's been great, but how have you noticed, internally, the chemistry of this year's team?
We're basically best friends. Spending so much time with a group of people, you learn so much about them. And I feel like this year we're really clicking and our chemistry is through the roof. We just love each other and we show that on the court. we never want to let each other down.
All right, shine a light on Deasia Fair for us. So we see her on the court, obviously, and she's having a phenomenal career, obviously, and a phenomenal season. What is Deasia like with you guys off the court?
Deasia, I would say she's very sarcastic. She's also very funny too, but she's very sarcastic. She has like dry, sarcastic humor. And I love that. I feel like that's the funniest type of humor ever. So she's a joy. Love Deasia.
I'm glad to hear you say that because, we see her on the court, and hey, as she should be, she always looks very serious. Yeah. So I'm glad to know that, like, she's getting you guys behind the scenes, right? She's getting you with some zingers back there.
Yeah, she smiles, guys. I promise. She's a smiler.
All right, and here she is. What's it like for you here to be a part of this history that she is doing on the court? I mean, be it tomorrow or Sunday, she is going to be the player that has the 5th most points in the history of women's college basketball. To hear that, to have a front row seat to that, what's that been like to watch her go about her work?
I feel like it's pretty cool watching history being made. Like when you join a team, or like once I came to Syracuse, I wasn't thinking like I would be part of something big. I would see history before my eyes, but I'm happy to see it. I love that for her. I think she's a great player and she deserves it.
And, she's obviously been just killing it this season. It's been fun watching her march off the history books. And I think there's been, a big spotlight right on women's college basketball this season because the one active player ahead of Deasia on that list is Caitlin Clark. Like, how much do you other players in women's college basketball, observe, enjoy, take notice of what Clark's doing?
She's a great player. I've never seen anything like her, to be honest. She's a great player, and I appreciate what she's shining the light on women's basketball. So Deasia can get the shine that she's getting because Caitlin's doing it as well. I feel like it's good for women's basketball as a whole. That's what she's doing.
You're at probably a good age to answer this, Kennedy, and it is your birthday, so getting older here. You've seen it as you're growing up, I guess, women's basketball getting more and more popular on the national scene. What's that been like for you? You coming up for the youth stages into college to see now, and you can now see it in person with attendance going up with like more and more people caring about what you guys are doing.
As a little kid, but women's basketball was like non-existent where I was from. Nobody wanted to play basketball. I literally had to join a boys team because no girls wanted to play basketball my age. So seeing all the support and more little girls wanting to play basketball, I feel like that's great for the sport. I feel like what we're doing is helping little girls achieve the dreams or forming the dreams that they want to play women's basketball when they grow up.
And you guys can see, I mean, from your success this year, I mean, look at the crowds you're getting over the last month. How much do you guys take in that? I mean, you can see it. Like, there's a lot more people there at your games in the last couple of weeks than there probably were a month or two ago.
Yeah, we love our fans. Shout out to all the fans. Thank you for coming to our games. They bring a great atmosphere to the games. They cheer us on. I feel like half the time when we are down, them still cheering us on and still supporting us also helps us come back from the deficits that we put ourselves in.
Yeah, I mean, you've had those fantastic comebacks. A lot of those came in the Dome this season, and you'll be at home tomorrow against Duke. You'll be at home Sunday against Pittsburgh, and then you might be home for a couple more games, depending how it plays out with the tournament. You guys are kind of right on that line for hosting NCAA tournament games right now. Do you guys pay attention to that, or do you guys try to keep that in the background at this point of the year?
I mean, it's hard not to pay attention to it because everybody's asking about it. So we have seen that we do have the chance to host, and I feel like that would be great for us so the fans could see us up close and personal perform in the tournament. But right now, we're just focused on finishing the season out and doing what we have to do to even get the opportunity to host.
Okay, a couple more things here for you, Kennedy. I want to ask you about tomorrow's game, but before that, explain to us what it's like playing for Coach Jack.
Coach Jack is a very, very passionate person, but she also loves us. She always tries to push us to be the best player that we could be, and I appreciate that. I like the push. I like being told what I should be doing, and if I'm not performing how I should be performing, I like being told I need to be doing that. So I feel like she's a great coach. She really pushes us to be the best, and I feel like it has shown throughout our season.
All right, last thing for you, Kennedi. We'll be tipping off in a day and about an hour and a half. About this point tomorrow, they'll be on the court getting your warm-ups going tomorrow night for Houston Duke at 7 o'clock. Give us the scouting report. What's this Duke team like? They got a strong defense. What do you expect the matchup to be like tomorrow night in the Dome?
Yeah, Duke's a really good team. They're young, and they play great defense. So I feel like if we just buckle down and play Syracuse basketball, we should be fine and bring home the dub, or keep the dub here. Yeah, protect the Dome.
All right, looking forward to it, Kennedi. Should be a good one tomorrow night. Happy birthday again, and keep it rolling. Thanks for hopping on for a few.
Thank you for having me.
All right, there she goes, Kennedi Perkins. And, I don't know, just the way Kennedi's been playing. What are we? Tip time tomorrow night at 7, so like 8, like 50-ish tomorrow night. Kennedy's going to get subbed into like a 2-point game and do something important tomorrow night. If history is to be any judge of the last few weeks of this Syracuse women's basketball season. And, man, talk about an opportunity. It's sitting right there. Duke tomorrow night. Big game at home, net rankings and all that. Duke would be a very, very solid win tomorrow night in the Dome. Pittsburgh Sunday on Senior Day and that whole thing. Pitt's not great, but that's one you got to go get. And then next week, you're on the road next Thursday in Raleigh at NC State. Potentially, depending how things break, a chance to maybe win the league in the regular season. Likely not where it's going the way Virginia Tech's playing, but you got a chance here. Like if Syracuse can win out here, they're going to be the 2 seed in the ACC tournament. Not easy. Winning at NC State is very, very difficult. But Syracuse has it in front of them to have the best regular season that they would have had in ACC history. Anyway, all right. Thanks to Kennedi joining us here this segment. We will take a break. We'll do a little bit of the 411. Jordan, TJ, I don't know. People will be in here. We'll talk to somebody about something. We'll do that coming up next in this hour, brought to you by Labor's Local 663. More to come after this on Q Sports Talk and ESPN Radio.